It never hurts to read a First Lady's book. I read a Laura Bush's book back in the day. I also read Hillary's book after they left the White House, after Bill had finished up his second term. And I was a little bit curious about Melania. The Art of Her Deal was written in 2020, so it's before this second term that Trump has gotten, by Mary Jordan, who has written for the Washington Post. She has won a Pulitzer Prize for her reporting. It's a gossipy sort of book. One thing the public knows about Melania is she's private. So much of what was gathered for this book was to sources who have been around her. Maybe they work as employees where they live, or just people in politics who were in the vicinity of, and a little bit that Melania has put out there about herself. I wondered if her modeling career was actually real. Yes, she was a model. She started quite young. It's her mother who suggested and pushed her into it. And Melania managed to succeed. It sounded to me a little bit like the life of an airline stewardess. You always have to have a bag packed and ready to go until you're actually making enough money to get into a glamorous city and actually get yourself a small apartment. Well, Melania did succeed in doing this, and she got herself to New York, too, where she was working. She's a modern woman who has made money and, of course, become wealthier too, just for knowing Donald. Considering that modeling, the kind of modeling that she was into, can be quite a fast lifestyle, she did not succumb to the fastness of what it could possibly be, say, drinking, drugs, going out with the wrong types of men, because that's who hangs around him, are these wealthy men, but men who maybe are not all that good, even if they do happen to have money. Because this book is about Melania, there's quite a bit about Donald Trump in it, too. If I'm understanding what I read correctly, and I actually listened to this in audio format while I was cooking and things like that, but she got her own paperwork as far as H-1B visa, and she got a high tier type because she was working and making her money, probably better than what most immigrants do. She brought her family here, and it talks a little bit about her background, their life under communist regime there in Slovenia. Her father smuggled, and nothing unusual about that. I grew up hearing about people smuggling in Russia when it was heavy-duty communists, because there just weren't things and treats around. Also, apparently, she had a brother in another town, and somehow or other, her parents weathered all of this. And that, too, gives you some insight into Melania's background, what makes her who she is. She is very disciplined, as we have all seen, and apparently she was that way throughout her modeling career. She conducted herself in a professional, business-like way. Actually, there's lots and lots of gossip in this book, but I won't be looking at Melania the same way again. She is her own woman, and she is leading the life the way she wants to live it. You got to keep in mind that when you have prenups, you have two parties who have made a contract. So it comes down to fulfilling that contract. One more thing that I'll share, because I don't want to give away too much, you won't read the book, is that their courtship was not a smooth, perfect affair. There is nothing easy and smooth about Donald Trump. But she's the type, having been in the modeling business and now in and around Donald Trump, she maneuvers these difficult areas of life in the best way that someone can do so. And if you read this book, you'll notice that about her. She kind of takes it all in and moves through her life in an orderly manner.